Will be in order at 5:35. Sorry.
6:36. Okay. Councilmember Cole.
Here.
Councilmember Schwer.
Here.
Councilmember Wong.
Here.
Councilmember Norby.
Here.
Mayor Monge.
Here. Should we adopt that in the right
So
order?
moved, Your Honor.
So moved, Councilmember Spear.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Cole. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Presentations.
Thank you, Mayor. We had 3 presentations. First up is the proclamation for suicide prevention in 2023.
The end.
What do you need?
They're disconnected.
You made him do it.
Would take just a little bit.
Are you ready?
I think you just read that. I think you're okay. Yep, you're good. There, he's in.
All right, first
Okay.
proclamation is Suicide Prevention Month for September 2023. Whereas suicide is a national public health challenge that causes immeasurable pain among individuals, families, and communities across the country. And whereas suicide, one of the top 10 leading causes of death in Minnesota and the top leading cause of death for people ages 10 to 24. And whereas on average, 132 Americans die by suicide each day and over 1 million attempt suicide. And whereas public awareness of this tragic problem keeps preventing further suffering and loss of life. And whereas the risk for suicide can be reduced through awareness, education, and treatment. And whereas everyone in the community can play a role in preventing suicide and are encouraged to know the signs, find the words, and reach out. And whereas depression is a treatable illness, and between 80 and 90% of the people who seek help for depression experience improvement when treated with therapy and or medication. And whereas support is available by calling the National Suicide Prevention Line at 988 or 1-800-273-8255, or the crisis text line by texting Minnesota to 741-741. Now, therefore, Mayor Monge, Mayor for the City of North St. Paul, Minnesota, do hereby proclaim September in North St. Paul as Suicide Prevention Day.
Thank you.
Next proclamation is the POWMIA 2023. Whereas POWMIA Recognition Day is observed in honor of all Americans still missing in action or possible prisoners of war in wars and conflicts engaged in the United States or in by the United States military. And whereas more than 1,500 Americans are still missing and unaccounted for from the Vietnam War, as well as more than 7,500 from the Korean War, 126 from the Cold War, from the Gulf War, 2 Americans are still missing, and more than 7,100 from World War II, though thousands from World War II are assessed in unrecoverable deep sea losses. And whereas the family and friends of unaccounted for United States military personnel, as well as countless fellow veterans and other Americans, still await recovery of remains or clarity regarding their fates. And whereas the United States POWMIA flag states a sacred and clear message embodied in on the words on the flag, "You are not forgotten." And whereas the Department of Defense POWMIA accounting agency, the PAA, provides some funding and resources to accomplish the mission of the accounting for our unreturned veterans, to signal to the world that the United States stands behind those who serve. And whereas the City of North St. Paul supports and shares our nation's commitment to account as fully as possible for Americans still missing and unaccounted for from past wars and conflicts. Now, therefore, Mayor Monge, Mayor for the City of North St. Paul, Minnesota, does hereby proclaim September 21st, 2023 as POWMIA Recognition Day in North St. Paul and commends its observance to all citizens. And additionally urge our residents to pause and give homage to our POWMIAs on National POWMIA Day, which will be on September 15th, 2023. Next proclamation is the Constitution Week. Whereas the Constitution of the United States of America, the guardian of our liberties, embodies the principle of limited government in a republic dedicated to rule by law. And whereas September 17th, 2023 marks the 235th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to the magnificent document in its memorable anniversary and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate it. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees that issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through September 23rd as Constitution Week. And now therefore, on behalf of the City Council of the City of North St. Paul, Mayor John Monge, by virtue of the authority vested in him as Mayor of the City of North St. Paul, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through the 23rd as Constitutional Week. Be it further resolved, he asks the citizens to reaffirm the ideals the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties.
Thank you. Consent agenda.
All right. Item A on the consent agenda, August 15th, 2023 workshop minutes. Item B, August 15th, 2023 regular meeting minutes. Item C, August 24th, 2023 special city council minutes. Item D, general claims, $891,637.30. Item E, HRA claims, $25,905.15. Item F, EDA claims, $4,567.50. Item G, wellhead ceiling program reauthorization. Item H, Housing Park ball field removal. Item I, grant agreement with Minnesota DNR for Housing Park. And item J, Artisan Culture Commission bylaws.
Anybody want to pull any out?
If I may, pull item J.
Jay? Okay. I have a motion to adopt everything, but item J.
So moved.
So move, Councilmember Cole.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Wong. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Meeting open to the public, 3 minutes, Mr. Hall.
How's this work?
Yeah, right there.
Pull up a chair, John.
Yep,
Pull up a chair.
talk to the owl. That's what that's called.
There's no eyeballs on it. This refers to a handout at the August 15th budget meeting. And funding for street projects now, which the plan calls for transfer of $1,100,000 from the electric fund. And the electric fund is established from payments of the electric bills. So if you have $1,100,000 you can transfer out of there, you're charging $1,100,000 too much, because that $1,100,000 should be going for electric infrastructure, not roads. This is to go back in my history, the first meetings that I ever attended up on the dais, the city manager was Wally Weisapple, the mayor was Sandberg. And one of the first meetings I attended, the mayor came over to Wally and sat down and he said, Wally, you know, it's really wonderful for us that we have our own electric utility, because we can build the electric fund and do a lot of things that other cities can't do, like building white elephant community centers and other things which should have gone to the electric infrastructure, not for weird payments for facilities like the community center was built on the electric fund. So I don't know if you were also aware of, about 9 years ago, Moody's started to reduce or increase our interest payments or our rating, because we were diverting all this money, and they said that they had to change, the city had to change that, or else there would be a problem with the bond rating. So the city did do that. It was $4 million they were diverting back then, 9 years ago. $4 million from the electric fund, and it dropped it down to $400,000. So I don't know what's up right now or what your plans are in using the electric fund. But if history, what you are ignoring, is any predictor of what's going on, you're going to get in trouble again. But maybe you don't care that it's not. And also with the electric fund and the way you get the money for that, it hits everybody the same based on how much you use. So churches in this city are contributing to building or fixing our streets, because a percentage of that is coming from the churches. Do you send them a thank you note and saying, we want to thank you for your electric bills where we can pull this money out of? So I think you need to think about this and change your ways.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? All right. We'll close the meeting to public now. Reports. Are we 2J now?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead.
So we'll move J down to be A for the city business action items or Arts and Culture Commission bylaws.
Yeah, so I just moved it down there just for a little bit more context. And my understanding is that the bylaws were already adopted by council. So if you could clarify a little bit more about the context or that.
It's my understanding that the bylaws were adopted by the Arts Commission in November of last year, and it was during that period of staff transition at City Hall that I think it got missed. And so it just came to my attention last week, and so I added it on as an agenda item to make it officially approved by the City Council.
Got it. Thank you for that clarification. Okay, I think that's it.
Do we have to move to accept that change?
You can.
You want to move it?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Wong, Councilmember Norby, all those in favor say aye.
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 All right, thank you. Reports from city manager and departments.
Thank you, Mayor. You see, we got some equipment's starting to come in, thankfully, for the electric department that have been ordered probably well over a year ago. Which will help us a lot on the Sepala going from overhead to underground for the rewire for that project over there. So starting to move forward with that. Got 3 apprentices heading down for overhead school next week down into the MMUA training grounds in Marshall. They're looking at hopefully this year getting overhead underground rewire on 3rd and Ivy, which will be about 1,200 feet of overhead primary to underground. So it'll be nice to get those more of that taken care of, because it's rear lot line begins into the trees and causes power outages this time of year. Yeah, we have going out for bids on health insurance. That'll be, I think that's due on the 23rd of September. And we'll see where those bids come in at for healthcare costs for next year. The downtown just coming up update. They looks like they have the curbs poured now. They're working on the flat work, pouring sidewalks. They've got the black dirt in. That sounds like most all of the sprinkler system is in, but they're going to hold off on the sod just because once you put that down, you really got to soak it really well, and then it becomes a mess. And with the parade coming through there, it would be a mess for the kids running around and just the people lining the streets. So we'll wait until after that before we put the sod in, and they will be opening the road the day of the parade on the 14th. So once it's open for the parade, it will stay open for 7th Avenue. It'll be nice to see. That's all I have.
Reports from health commissioners and committees.
The planning commission is coming up this coming Thursday. As always, for the commissions, we invite everyone to attend.
Councilmember Short.
Parks and Rec met last Wednesday of August, sorry, I'm blanking. There we just discussed what's happening with Autumn Art Festival. Everyone's pretty excited about that and around that. That is on September 16th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And Star Watch is happening on September 20th. That's all good.
Thank you. Councilman Long?
Yeah, so the Artisan Culture group has been meeting in their subgroups as well. As you saw, I think the mural has been completed. It looks really wonderful. The artist will also be at the Autumn Arts Festival as well. So that was a really nice addition, I think. They'll also be attending in the parade for the Fall Roundup Parade. Mr. Snowy is still for sale, and the paint parties are continuing on. So it's a very active group, a very dedicated group, and so yeah, I think they're having a lot of fun. So, and I believe a utility box 1.5, phase 1.5 will be coming here as well. So maybe a couple more popping up here. And our next meeting is tomorrow evening at 6:30 in Sandburg or in the chambers. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Councilman Full?
No update to EDA since the last update given. Next EDA meeting is here a week from today, Tuesday the 12th at 3 o'clock in Chambers. Okay, in Chambers.
All right. Thank you. General business. Councilman Murray, nope.
Nothing at this time.
Councilman Ruth?
Yes, I attended the Winter World event on August 18th. They had a recognition for the military. They had live music, silent auction. It was a very nice event to attend in appreciation to our military. I want to thank Chris from the police department that worked for the additional hours that night. He represented quite well with they had a St. Paul officer with his canine with Loki. It was lovely. So very nice event. Attended the ribbon cutting for Blue Nile last Friday. The gentlemen that own it are very nice men, and they were very welcoming to all of us city members, and stayed for some supper that night, and the food was very good. I've learned a lot about the culture itself by attending and eating there. So, and lastly, on Monday, the girls and I went to Silver Lake, and the place was hopping. So the hot weather brought in a lot of people within the city, which was really nice to see that. So that's it on my end.
Thank you.
I also attended the grand opening for the Blue Nile restaurant. However, I did not go to the ribbon cutting, but I just went in on Sunday, and I just have to say, I lived in Ethiopia for 2 years during Peace Corps, and so it's really beautiful for me to see kind of the marrying of two worlds for me, and the hospitality was spot on. So it was really nice. And then I did receive a email from a resident in regards to questions about the SROs and what kind of information or data do we have around our SROs and what kind of use of force they have and have had to utilize in the schools. So that was a question that I received.
Could you forward me that? I could be happy to answer that.
Yep, sure thing. And I think that's all I have.
So you drew the line there, so I knew you were done. So
Hey.
I know when you're done. Councilmember Cole?
I believe the majority of us had the opportunity to attend the groundbreaking for the new apartments and business structures going in. Article number 7, I believe, is the name that they're going forward with. As well as I had the opportunity to attend Blue Nile grand opening as well. The culture and the hospitality were phenomenal. Big shout out, go there, eat, it's fantastic. Leave your silverware at home, use your fingers.
I've been training for that my whole life. Anything else?
I'm good.
All right, thank you. It was at Blue Nile, it was delicious food. It was a nice experience. Very, very friendly people. It was enjoyable. And also I wanted to mention that now that it's getting a little bit darker earlier, the lights and passing on electric department over around Silver Lake are nicely placed now and there's no dark spots anymore. So walking the path has really been improved since they were able to get those spread out a little bit better. Nice job on that. There's nothing else?
Just look forward to seeing everybody next Thursday night at the parade,
Mm-hmm.
No candy or no candy?
and we'll figure it out.
All right, there, I'll call for adjournment.
So moved on.
So move, Councilmember Schwer.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Wong. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I made it through.
Now we've got one more meeting, right?
One more meeting.
One more meeting. We got HRA.
Yes. HRA is next. We got our quick HRA meeting.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
That's fine. All right, I got a